Okay. Let's get started then. If everyone would stand and we will pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, do we have any guests tonight? No guests? Okay, how about new members? Who's a new member tonight? I think at least we have one, right? I thought we did. Oh, she did. Okay. Okay. I knew she was here. Okay, very good. Okay, year to date, we have our in-office service tickets. Those are the ones that you leave your computer overnight and we fix the computer. We've had 116 of those tickets so far this year. Our walk-in technical support, meaning it's a one-on-one session sitting with one of us in the office, satisfying your technical issues. We've had 147 of those so far this year. As far as completed computers for the refurbishing, these are computers that have been donated by our members, maybe a business in town that is retiring computers or whatever other source. We have computers that we've brought into the organization. We've taken them apart, put a new hard drive in, maybe new memory, upgraded those things, made sure that it has all of the security software, and it's now ready for someone here in the audience to either purchase or we donate it to the some of the school children, needy school children, through their guidance counselor, the care organization for victims of rape and abuse, homeless, or the veterans. And we've completed 150 of those refurbishments, and we have actually delivered to a new owner 135 of those. We do need new laptops. We are always interested in getting additional equipment in. We try to save the best ones, the i5s and the i7s and the better spec laptops for our membership. And then our membership is a little over 341 now, or it's at 341. Oops, I think I made a goof on my slide here. Talking about the membership. You look at the top and you see some of the community benefits that we have. We have refurbished computers that we provide to, again, children as recommended by their guidance stool counselors. Veterans, homeless through St. Vincent de Paul, victims of rape and abuse. Oh, I didn't edit that one well, did I? And we are a 501c3 organization, so all donations to us are what do you call it? We are a nonprofit, so we're yeah. Okay, so for your membership is only $35 a year for individuals, and $45 for 2 people in a household. And for that, you get free in-office technical support, the classes, or just walking in and having people help you to resolve problems on the fly. We also provide updates to virus and other malware applications. And we also have drawings that you can win a computer or a gift card or whatever at the meeting this evening. I talked earlier about APCUG, which is another organization, which is kind of a collective of different computer organizations that have come together. And those are not just here in the US, they are some outside of the US too. Well, Canada, of course, but there are others that are outside of the Americas also. If you wish to receive a refurbished computer, and I told you that these are upgraded from whatever they came in the door with. A desktop, including keyboard, mouse, and speakers, is $50, and a laptop is available for a donation of $75. I am going to turn over the microphone now to Captain Dr. Joan. I'm not gonna spell her or talk about her last name because it's too much to pronounce. But she's gonna give you a little pitch on what she finds good about the Charlotte County Computer Group and why you should encourage your friends and neighbors, and also you should volunteer to help us make this organization even better to serve our community.
Hi, a lot of you, thank you for inviting me, Mary. A lot of you recognize me because you see me across the hall from your office. And I'm so grateful that you're there because I'm always walking in and looking for some technical help. I studied engineering when I was really young, and now I'm kind of computer illiterate. And I don't know how many people feel like that. Every one of you asked questions that I needed answers to as well. And so this group is really super important for me. It helps me to keep myself technically involved and not quit. Mark saved me a couple of times just coming over, and the classes are great. So you really do serve an important, you provide an important service for our community and for each other, and build community. And I love Shirley, we hang out chatting. But this organization is bigger than that, and because of your graciousness and your willingness by donating computers or getting people to donate computers and joining the club, you're providing computers and services for people that is really important in the community. So I work for CARE, Center for Abuse and Rape Emergencies. That's why Mary keeps bringing that up. And when I came into CARE, you know, the COVID happened and everybody sort of dissipated a little bit and kind of forgot what was going on. So when I came in and my office is across from you, I knew that we had clients. We work with domestic violence and sexual assault victims. Many of these women have no money. They've been financially isolated and deprived. They don't have bank accounts, they don't have money, they don't have computer skills, they don't even have phones. And so with your organization, we are now able to provide computers for these women. And with the computer is so much power. We're, you know, from the internet or from our computers, we get knowledge, we get resources. So they've been able to find jobs, they've been able to, you know, get bank accounts, they've been able to do a lot with the computers that you have provided. So quite often you're sending computers to one of our clients, and it's completely, our services are confidential and free. So there's no embarrassment or uncomfortableness about receiving these computers for our clients. They're so incredibly grateful. And I know that's just as important for the kids that receive them, the veterans that come in, and some people that are vulnerable or homeless adults. I see them coming in and I'm across the hall, and they're so incredibly grateful for the work that you do. Which brings me up to the point of volunteering. So I'm also the volunteer coordinator for CARE. And when I started my job a year ago, we were doing between 30 and 50 volunteer hours a month. I'm now up to almost 700 volunteer hours a month. We did 600, because I totaled it tonight, 698 volunteer hours. Because, not because they, you know, nobody wants to talk about rape and domestic violence. Nobody wants to do those calls, but they know that the job that they do is super, super important. And without them, people are hurting. So without you, people are hurting. They can't receive the services. So by you volunteering, in small ways, 1 or 2 hours a month, or every week for 2 hours, or every week for 4 hours, or doing these classes, like this class on photographs, that would be an awesome class. Some of you have skills way above me, and Mark taught us a class one time on turning our photographs into a video. That was an awesome class that we did. And there's so many classes that they offer, and there's more, even more, because I know there's talent out there. And your contributions change lives for people. You make the world better, you change the world just by a few hours, once a month or once a week. So every hour counts, it matters, it changes people's lives. And so I can invite you, because that's what keeps it going. It's a volunteer organization. And they say, can I volunteer? Well, my job is your volunteer, being a member of your community, being a member of this club. I feel like my job is getting the word out to organizations like CARE, so that we can bring clients to you, so they can get new computers. And my job is to go out and get new members for you, get new people to join. So we just had Arlene here. She's recently joined Latanya, who is one of my volunteers. She was very frustrated because we have to do training, and we have to do training on computers. And she couldn't do her training, keep up with her training, because she didn't have a computer. And she came to you because I found out she didn't have why can't she do her computer training? Because she didn't have a computer. I didn't know that at first. So she came to you, joined the club, got a computer, and now she can keep up with her training. And now she's doing all kinds of things on the computer. She's sending me all kinds of stuff. So super important. So we filled out a really nice form. Mary created this afternoon. And please put your name on it and think about how you can volunteer. If you're already volunteering, it's just as important that you put your name on here and mark down the hours that you're already volunteering. And the reason for that is we need to keep track of it. We need to know who's doing it. So when we have volunteer luncheons, we know, and we can count you in, and we can validate and keep track of you. I mean, let me tell you, keeping track of all of my volunteer hours is very time consuming, and you don't have to do that. Maybe that's something I can help you with, keeping track of your volunteers. But please, everyone, pick something that you can participate in, whether it's working the front desk, men, women, all you need is a friendly face, a nice smile when somebody walks in, fill out some paperwork, and just be really friendly when they come, because most people are coming, they're very intimidated by the whole computer thing, really. So check in, and again, training, we'll train you how to do it. We don't expect you to know how to do it. And I like what Mary wrote someplace along here. You're going to learn as you go. So when you have to help somebody, you're going to get better at it yourself. So we need people to work at the front desk, in your office space. We need people to help with in-office and technical support, overnight even. We need people to work with computer refurbishing and tear down. There you go, sweetie. You're always at it. We love you. You're so sweet. Does she not have the sweetest smile? Yeah, she's always there doing the work for us. Then we of course have the monthly meeting. Mary's been doing it for some time now, sitting at the front desk doing the raffle tickets. So we need people doing that, and then instructors and presenters. So there's lots of topics that lots of us would like to learn about. So maybe if there's something that you're really good at, I can't remember your name up there, but I know you're good at things that I don't even know you're good at. But come and offer to do a class for us. That's what keeps the computer group alive, is all of us learning. That's what keeps us all alive. The more we learn, the longer we live, the happier we are. And there's a lot of really dedicated people that show up every week. You're super good to me. I'm super grateful for everything that you do, especially when my computer's not working. And so anyway, if I can help you, I'm glad to help you. But please fill out the forms. Shirley with her big smile is gonna be taking them on your way out. So make sure you put your name on and let us know how you can volunteer. All right? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Grover wants to say something too.
Biggest part of you know me. If you don't, I'm Grover Mudd. I'm down to 3 full-time volunteers on the desk. I have 2 of my extra volunteers covering the other days. If you have any office experience, are willing to give me 4 hours, 1 day a week, come in on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. We'll sit down and show you what it involves. But please, I need help bad. It's getting really hard to run the club. I hate to see things go to 1, 2, 3, or 4 days a week. The club won't operate that way. It's been too long the other way. So consider coming in and talking to me.
Yeah, I know that it's hard, as we get really busy and it is hard to find the time. But it's really important and we do have a lot of fun over there and you can come and talk to me too while you're there. So yeah, they do, but if you can do 1 day a week for maybe 2 hours instead of, the whole 4 hours, we're willing to work with your schedule so that we can train you and we have more people coming in and working. So yeah, it just, whatever we'll work around your schedule and we'll work. And then remember, we've got the snowbirds coming. So we gotta do this time again when the snowbirds get here.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Joan brought up a very good point. There's some people that said, well, I really can't dedicate the whole day because I have doctor's appointments. Well, if you have a doctor's appointment in the afternoon, come in the morning and help, and we'll find someone else to fill in the afternoon hours, or vice versa. If you have a schedule where you can come in the same day every week, that's wonderful. If you could come in just once a month and fill in a day, that's great too. So don't not volunteer because you think you can't provide enough hours or you're not going to be available enough time. At least identify yourself as someone who's available on call if we have a situation where we have to find someone because we're kind of in a crisis situation because someone else was sick and we didn't have a fill-in. But we try to be able to cover each other, so if one person is out, another one will come in and cover. And we don't like to be, have to call on the same people all the time, but that ends up happening a lot. So thank you very much for sharing your experience with the group and the importance of having volunteers. And we are a group of volunteers. That's all we are. We're a group of volunteers who help each other. So as long as one person can help another one, and if you don't know something, this is a great opportunity to learn how to do something. If you don't think you have a technical skill, but you still want to help others, come in and we'll talk to you about how to do things on your computer, and you'll learn a little bit more, and then you can come in and help the next person do that same thing. So, and most of the questions that we have from people coming in are not overwhelming. They're not, huge, complicated problems. They're things that are basic. And once you understand the basics, you can then be able to diagnose some more complex things. So come on in, join us. Okay, I'm going to be quiet now and go to the next thing, which is another way to get the word out. Please go to Nextdoor. Also go to the website. What is the name of the website? It's not the CCCGC, it's Nextdoor. No, our website. Not our website, our Facebook page that you and Donna put together. Okay, Donna, do you have the name of the website of the Facebook page? Or I'm sorry, Debbie. No, there's a Facebook page that there's a Facebook page that's an old one. It's maybe 20 years old. And there's nothing on it that's current, and we have a new one. And because we can't, we can no longer go to that and update it because the person who administered it is no longer here. He died a few years ago and so we don't have the support, we can't go in and update it. Because we don't have the password for it. So,
No,
no, you did the new one. We have a new Facebook page
Oh,
too. So that one we have all the credentials for, we can work on it. So we can do that, but get your information from our website, cccgc.info. Our Facebook page, and I can't remember the name of it, is really long because we couldn't use the other one that was easier to remember. And we have Nextdoor and we have word of mouth. Okay, so these are the things we talked about earlier, the volunteers we needed. And now we're going into the favorite of the month, and I'm going to turn this over to George.
Okay, the website. Can you go to,
Wow.
right, can you go to our website? Yes, yes, I wanna show them exactly where to get these favorites. On our website, on the top right there, yes. On the top, it says September, hit the September favorites. And this one is called Tiny Wow. It's, no, I wanna go far. Yes. Yes. Scroll down. Down, next page.
I was trying to get rid of this little block here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you'll notice right below the favorites is all the favorites we've had for the past.
Until 2017.
From 17, the last 6 years, all the favorites are located there, if you ever need one. It's right on our favorites website, and as far as I know, they're all free and still available. Now if we can go to, wow.
Okay, another way to get back to that is to. For some reason, I have it all there. Okay, if I go to our homepage, we could go up to monthly favorites. And this one should get us to, no, this doesn't, this is a way to say, I want this. To be talked about in our favorites session in the next meeting. So if you have a favorite of yours that you want to share with people, please include it here. And if you want to present that favorite, please talk about that too, because we'll be glad to share the pain.
Now we can go back to the
Oh, yeah, let's go back to that. Okay.
Just hit it up there.
Okay.
Okay. This is a toolbar that has about 160 different programs on it that you can use, and it shows you, and if you move to get rid of that one thing. Okay. You should be able to drag it down too. If it's, you know. Okay. Um. There, now if you notice, all those little, it looks like credit cards. That, there's different subjects. And you can move it farther, and there's tricks for, pictures, PDFs, anything else you'd like. And one of them is an AI essay worker,
Essay writer.
essay writer. And what I did is, I did the essay writer, and I started with someone that most people tend to know. All I put down was George Washington, and it wrote 3 paragraphs on there, all about George Washington. I put in 2 words, George Washington. Why don't you take those and pass them around so that people can look at them. So I did another one, and all I did was put Charlotte County Computer Group. It came out with a five-page essay on the computer group, which is somewhat accurate. Some of it is fairy tale. Yeah, you take this one. And I was really confused,
And that one was really a very.
and I tried one more. I put my name down there. Now, if you want to hear a fairy tale, I make it my business not to get on the web. And it came up with 5 paragraphs for me, and it doesn't say anything that I do. But it was 5 paragraphs. Take this, Pastor. You can take a look at these, and they're really helpful.
Why don't we read some of these? Okay. George Washington, often referred to as the father of this country, was an influential figure in American history. And he talks about when he was born, all that kind of stuff. Let's read the one on George Copenack. This one is very interesting. George Copenack is a remarkable individual who has made a significant contribution in his field of expertise.
Go ahead.
Born in 1985, I don't think so. That's probably about 40 years too late, right? I grew up in a small town in Eastern Europe.
And that it was AI. My family comes from area of Prague. So that's kind of correct. That's kind of correct.
Okay, we'll jump down a few paragraphs. One of the most remarkable aspects of George's intelligence and comprehension is his unwavering curiosity. Okay, we don't have Rose to comment on this tonight. He is constantly seeking knowledge and exploring different areas of interest. This trait has led him to delve into various fields ranging from computer science to philosophy. Okay, do you have a philosophy for us? Stay home.
Be good, if not,
Okay.
be careful.
Be good, if not, be careful. Okay, very good. Good. That's good to know. Okay. Do you have anything else for this? No?
Check all the different areas that you can get help. A lot of it has to do with PDFs, a lot of it has to do with pictures. Any questions? Yes.
Wait a minute. Let's get a microphone. Yeah. Right here. Oh.
Was George Washington actually born February 22nd in 17 32. I don't know if that's entirely accurate because in history class, he was born in a different era.
Okay, now that is AI finding it fast. Whether that's true or not,
That's
AI,
probably reasonable.
it's probably close.
Yeah, 1730, bring the microphone back.
But the George Washington one, we just put in the name and AI took care of everything else.
Okay, if you consider that, George, okay, we were talking about 1776 Revolutionary War. And it says he was born in 1732, he would have been, early 40s at that time, that's probably reasonable. 32, and when you put something into an AI that is such a familiar name, such a well-known figure, they should be fairly accurate on it. But George, I think we learned a lot about George tonight, George Copenac. May not have learned much about George Washington, but we certainly learned a lot about George Copenac. Okay, Gary, I'm gonna turn this over to you now. I'll
Well,
bring the
to
presentation.
add to your learning experience tonight, you all will know going home the birth year of George Washington. Everybody say it together. 1732. There we go. Okay, so you walked out here. Well, tonight I'm going to offer you a little bit more. We have a short video presentation entitled "A Safe Alternative to Credit Cards." And I hate to add this onto the title, for seniors. So I know there are no seniors here, but be broad-minded. You might have a neighbor, you might have a parent that's considered a senior, so just bear with us tonight. You know, I know you're not classified as such.
And if you still have a parent living, you're probably not a senior. Yeah.
Of course. Okay, this is being done by Ron Brown, associated with Tech for Seniors, an organization, and I can't give you all of the background where it comes from, but very valuable. They have weekly programs and classes similar to other things that are offered by APCUG. So let me go on and let me just a comment too. Just recently I noticed credit cards. I find I have little need for cash in my pocket much anymore. It seems like it used to be, well, you can't pay with a credit card unless it was over such and such a value. Now with inflation has gone, most everything is over that value. So I find myself with little need for cash in my pocket. I pull out the credit card. You buy an ice cream cone and here's the credit card to do it with. So again, credit cards are a lot of value, but now this is a safe alternative. I'm not sure that I'm fully engaged with it, but let's hear it. On with the show, Mark.
Ron Brown with Tech for Senior, safe alternatives to a credit card. Let's see what this is all about. There are 5 potential issues seniors may face while using credit cards. The first is scams and fraud. Seniors may be more susceptible to scams and fraud, particularly if they are not familiar with technology or the internet. The second is difficulty managing finances. Some seniors may have difficulty managing their finances, which could lead to overspending and falling into debt. The third reason is higher risk of identity theft. Seniors may be at a higher risk of identity theft due to their personal information being more easily accessible. And the fourth reason is limited income. Some seniors may have limited income, which could make it difficult for them to make repayment to credit cards. And the fifth and last is difficulty understanding credit card terms and conditions. Seniors may have more difficulty understanding the terms and conditions of credit cards, which could lead to confusion and mistakes. To help protect older adults in these issues, it is recommended that they keep their personal information safe, monitor their credit reports on a regular basis, and be cautious of unsolicited offers for requests of personal information. It is also important for older adults to have a clear understanding of credit card terms and conditions before applying and using a credit card. Because we live in a cashless society, seniors often resort to debit cards. This can lead to disastrous consequences with fraud and theft. Let me explain the difference between a debit card and a credit card. Because we really live in a cashless society, the banks have created what we call a debit card. This allows you access to your own money in the bank. You can get it through an electronic transaction. Therefore, it is your money you're using at the grocery store. So if Mr. Smith goes to the grocery store, he puts his debit card down and buys $200 worth of groceries. The amount in his bank now is $0. If he goes to buy $250 worth of groceries, he can't do that because he doesn't have $250 in his account. So it is a cash transaction that occurs from your bank to the grocery store, but it's cashless. And because of this, there is no fee to debit cards, there is no contract you sign with the bank, and the debit cards are available to anyone, even if they have a horrible credit history and a very poor financial situation. Anyone can get a debit card because it simply offers you access to the money that you have in your existing account. Now we'll talk about credit cards in a moment, but we should now discuss the appropriate use of a debit card because this is a very important issue. Because the debit card is essentially giving cash out of your account, it's a cash transaction, there is no protection for you. It's just like if you were walking down the street and someone stole your wallet with $200 in it, then you wouldn't have $200 anymore. So there's no protection. If someone steals your PIN number or your debit card number, they are simply going to empty your bank account out of your cash. And the bank is not going to compensate you for that. First, you should not use them to purchase gas. Gas skimming machines that are put on credit card devices on the gas dispensing machines are highly vulnerable to fraud. A recent report this week showed that investigators are seeing more credit card skimmers. They can steal your banking information, credit or debit card numbers. Thieves plant all sorts of credit card skimmers, including businesses, gas stations, and in grocery stores. Recent reports showed UPS workers arrested in a $1.3 million credit card fraud and identity scheme involving skimming. Costco found 5 credit card skimmers in the Chicago area warehouses. Skimmers have been around for a long time, but thieves are getting smarter. In the old days, these machines were often very recognizable. In other words, they fit on top of a regular credit card machine. And they look exactly the same. You couldn't tell the difference. So they can be put on outside ATM terminals that your bank has. They can be put in Costco warehouses. The important thing to know, they are almost impossible to detect. So you need to be protected. And protection doesn't come by using your debit card because there is no protection with a debit card. If you are going to use this for a gas station purchase, go inside the store where there is control over the ATM machine and pay for it with the clerk at the desk. You should not use your debit card for any internet purchases. Keep it completely away from the internet and any online transaction. I'll talk about something better to use in a moment, but keep it away from the internet. There's a high degree of fraud and you don't want your number compromised because remember, it's cash out of your account and you're not going to get it back. So be very careful with that. Likewise, you should not use your debit card for purchases for travel. Remember, it's like prepaying with cash. Once you pay that out, you have no recourse to get it back again. So if you buy a cruise and the cruise ship goes under, not sinking, I mean, but if they go bankrupt, then you're not going to get your money back. If you're traveling around the world and the airline company goes bankrupt, and this has happened a lot in the last few years, then you'll be stuck in some foreign country that you have to try and return yourself. So please don't use your debit card for any travel arrangements. Consider it a cash transaction. If you aren't comfortable with paying with cash, don't use your debit card. Senior citizens may be at higher risk of falling into debt due to a fixed income, decreased earning potential, and increased medical expenses. Additionally, some may be taken advantage of by predatory lending practices, or may even not fully understand the terms and fees associated with credit card use. It is important for seniors to manage their finances carefully and seek assistance if they are struggling with debt. This week, the National Council on Aging published a report. There is a retirement crisis for millions of older adults because of growing credit card debt. Thanks to soaring inflation and mounting costs of food, housing, utilities, and more, retirees now outspend their annual income by more than $4,000 and are compensating with that for credit card debt. With few options to bridge the gap, many older adults have little choice but to use their credit cards to finance this debt. In fact, Forbes recently reported that 41% of households headed by someone between the ages of 65 and 74 carry credit card debt, up from 27% in 1989. So it's important for you to remember that unlike a debit card where you're using your own money, with a credit card, you are using someone else's money. In other words, you're using credit. Because of that, you have to sign a contract with the company. In other words, you're going to be signing on the dotted line to agree to the terms of that contract. Now, most people who sign that form don't actually read the contract, but it usually is 30, 40 pages long. Out of all those pages in the contract, they all are in favor of the credit card company. You would not believe all the terms and conditions that we agree to. But there is one paragraph in all those contracts that works in your favor, and that is fraud protection. And that is the key issue between using a credit card and a debit card. Using a credit card, you are protected against fraud, and that is a big feature. And that's why for online secure transactions, a credit card is the preferred method. But I'm going to show you something that works just as well, and you won't have to get a credit card. Let me explain how this works. So if you do not have a credit card and you're worried about using your debit card as for an online transaction, let me talk about two alternatives for you. The first is a prepaid card. You can purchase these at any grocery store, usually gas station, or in Canada we have them as well. These are called prepaid cards, and they're made either by Visa or MasterCard. You can pick these up usually right at the till when you're checking out buying your groceries. So what are these cards? Well, these are prepaid cards that you can purchase. Now, the cost of these cards varies from $2 to usually they're under $10. And that's the administrative fee of setting the cards up. And then when you check out, the teller will ask you, how much do you want to put on the card? And there you can take your debit card and you do a transaction from your debit card and it loads the prepaid card. So there is no link between the prepaid card and your debit card. In fact, there's no identifier on these cards. These cards have no names or any identifier to your personal information. So you then take this home and you can use this now wherever credit cards are used. So remember, if you put $200 on the card, that's all you have. Now, when you go back next week to buy more groceries, if you have more shopping to do, you can just add further $200 or $300 onto the card, and there is no cost to that. So there is a cost initially to purchase the card, which is an administrative setup fee. Now there's one other fee associated with these cards, is there is a monthly charge of usually 2% of the balance on the card. So this is not a lot of money if you're going to use the card on a short-term basis, which I would recommend. These cards are not meant for you to load a bunch of money on and leave them for 2 or 3 years, because that 2% each month is going to chew away at the balance. But if in October, if you're looking at buying some Christmas gifts and things like that, then you can simply purchase the card, load it up each time you go grocery shopping, and then do some online purchases with total protection. There's no link between any information on that card. In fact, the MasterCard or Visa, whoever sponsors the card, has no idea who you are. It's a cash transaction to load that at the till when you're checking out from the grocery store. The second card that is a great card that I've used for many years is the Amazon gift cards. So who doesn't shop at Amazon? The Amazon gift cards are a great way to do online shopping. Again, you purchase these in the grocery store usually, and you can take them to the till when you're checking out, and you'll just, you could pay for them with a credit card if you want, but you could use a debit card as well. And then you take your gift card home with you, and it acts just like a credit card, but it only works with Amazon. There's no fees to purchase it, and there are no monthly fees. So it's you can just take the card and apply it onto your Amazon account. This is a very secure way of doing online transactions on Amazon. And again, there's no identifying number that relates you to your debit card or any personal information. Just two options that you have if you're worried about using your debit card for online transactions. It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior, alternatives to a credit card. Hopefully this video will help you stay safe when doing your internet purchases.
Hey, we have. Do we have any comments or questions before we go forward? Okay, George?
In the last 2 weeks, I became an expert on credit cards. 2 weeks ago, my credit card got kidnapped. And one day I woke up with a call from my card, asked if this was a good purchase for me, and I said no. It was done twice for $49.99 from a place in California. I did a little research, and it happened to be an escort service.
Oh, shame on you.
In spite of what you read before.
Were you the escort or escortee?
I didn't get paid. But the credit card immediately stopped my card, and I was issued a new card. And I got, my first one was a text. And then I called them and we went through it all, and they told me exactly where it was. And what was important is the escort service charged me $49.99. The reason for that is under $50, they kind of let things fly. And they just happened to catch that. And they issued me a new card. And if that ever happens to you, ask them if they can send the card through Federal Express, not the mail. This will be about an extra week. And it's beneficial to you because you can start getting your credit realigned. All the people that you have automatic withdrawals from, they all have to be notified because they're all going to come back to me and say, hey, what's happening? And they were very nice about it and they took care of me real good.
Well, now you know, if you're part of George's escort service, you're not getting paid. You just lost $99.98. Okay. Anyone else?
I guess I'd like to add maybe one last thing. It seems like just about every day, it seems like I get some sort of a scam email. It might be about the iPhone that I bought, or my shipment can't get to me because I don't have my address. All you have to do is to click on this invoice and so forth, and you take your chances. When you click on that, invariably it's gonna download a virus to you. So, and virtually every day, it just, imagine, in fact, I don't know how people can avoid it unless you really look carefully at it. So be real careful. It, again, just about every day, it's, gee, I missed something and they're reminding me of it, or I didn't get the shipment, or my account is overdue. You know it, you see it as well too. Just be real careful.
I've gotten those same things. I've noticed in my mailbox and in my husband's also. We can't deliver this. Please notify us. Give us give us all this information so we can get your packet. I didn't order a package. We're not expecting anything, so yeah, watch out for those, don't fall for them. Okay, can we have a drawing, please?
So envelope should go in the middle one.
The middle one, okay. What's this one? Oh, that's the computer. Right.
Probably more, no, I lost it already.
Okay,
Lost
red,
tickets, so it's not gonna be.
red card. Let me get it right side up. Oh, the last three numbers, probably good enough. 550.
Oh.
All
Okay.
right, we've got a winner.
Don't get up just yet. At the end of the meeting, we'll take photos and get the card to you. Okay, let's get another one.
But Charlie, we're here, correct one.
No fear getting your own.
Last three, 547, 547. I better check mine in my back pocket. Nope.
547.
547. Going once, going twice.
Maybe that was Arlene.
It's all right.
Okay. Okay, that's part of the game. There, I can grab one where you close. Okay, this is gonna be a winner this time. 566. That's all. All right, okay.
Good for you, Shirley.
I'm glad we didn't have you pick your number.
So that's 2.
Hey, one last.
You wanna pick the next one then, Shirley? Shirley, you wanna pick the next one?
That's a good choice.
Can't come up twice.
561. 561. Oh, front row again. Oh, wow.
Very good.
All right.
Okay, when we finish the rest of the drawings, we'll have photos and everything taken down here. Let's go to the money. How much money do we have splitting tonight? $17? Okay, well.
Oh, need your glasses.
I do, I need my glasses. 748. 748, okay, up here, very good. When you come down, you need to give us your name and so forth, and we'll take a photo. So, okay, and so you are getting $17 and $17, okay. Okay, now we have the computer. The computer that we have tonight It's a desktop, it's an i7, 16 gigabytes memory, 250 gigabytes storage.
That one, oh, go ahead.
The winner is.
Last three digits, 042. 042.
All right,
Okay,
good.
the winner.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions before we retire?
On that volunteer form. On the volunteer form,
Yes.
you had second Tuesday of the month is the meeting. It's not, is it? It's the first month, the first Tuesday.
Do I have that?
Well,
Oops.
whoever did, but I.
Oh,
think
no, I did the form, so I wrote it down wrong.
Minor error, yeah, it's the first Tuesday rather than the second
Ooh,
Tuesday.
yes, monthly meeting,
Okay, well,
okay,
we all know that, first.
I was probably looking down below and, no, my bad. So, we will we'll update the form, get the correction made. I'll pencil in the rest of the corrections. Okay, well, any more questions?